On this episode of the Late Night Startup Show, we are speaking with Reuben Brooks of Reuben Brooks Fitness, a fitness brand that has earned its reputation through an increasingly large social media following, several show titles, and several sponsorships. But first, this episode is brought to you by RCR Video, a multifaceted, Atlanta-based video production company creating compelling content to fast forward your business. Let's get into it. Once again, guys, thanks for being with us today. We are joined by Reuben Brooks of Reuben Brooks Fitness. And man, you're fairly new to this full-time entrepreneur, just hustle mentality.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you made the switch to full-time Reuben Brooks Fitness?
Well, it's November 2nd right now.
Yeah,
Today,
November
okay.
2nd.
I would say July was my breakaway from the corporate world.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What were you doing before?
Pharmaceutical sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you did that for what, a year, 2 years?
I did for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
But
3 years.
obviously pursuing fitness in the fitness world.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it been so far? Since July to now, what's the ride been like?
Man, shit, it's been a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
How so?
Well, it's breaking off, going from one extreme to another is always going to be difficult, So, coming from a gravy situation, pharmaceutical sales is cool. You know, everybody wants to get into that. It's company car, you get all the perks, all this other stuff to nothing,
Yeah.
But the one thing you really do get is freedom. So, it's a really good trade-off, when you think about it. But it's been a struggle because, now I have to eat what I kill.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
I had to become more of a hunter, and I had to be even more polished with my sales skills because I just came from a different type of selling to now I'm selling my body, I'm selling me and my brand.
Yeah.
So it's it's different for sure.
So when did you know? Like, was it a buildup of, as you were at the pharmaceutical sales company, that you knew eventually you wanted to do your own thing, or was it like, you know what, I'm kind of done with this?
I always wanted to do my own thing. My manager actually put it in clear perspective for me. I was like, I cannot work for another fucking boss anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, nope. So, yeah.
And at that point, you were like, I'm done. I'm moving on.
Done. Type A personality. I was like, she was a very, it was a she, boss. She was a very, you always must draw inside of the lines type of person.
By the book.
By the book. And I'm like, man, I'm such a creative person. Like, what if I like my lines out here?
Yeah.
It just didn't work out. So, I left that company and started my own.
So were you patient, though? Like, you knew that it wasn't working out? Or was it like a breaking point? Did that boss or that company do something? You were like, all right, F you, I'm gone?
Nope. I was very patient.
Very patient.
When it comes to planning anything, I'm pretty methodical about it. So, I wrote a date on a calendar, talked it over with my girlfriend. And I also started to kind of mimic what I would be doing off to the side.
Yeah.
So I made a goal. I was like, I'm going to try to get 5 clients this week. First week I tried it, I got 5 clients.
Yeah.
And, based on what I charged, it was about the same amount I was making with pharmaceutical sales. I was like, well, if I can keep that up for 4 times out the week or 4 times out of the month, I'll be pretty damn good.
So has that been pretty consistent? Or?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Yeah.
I think that was just beginner's luck. It's up and down. Sales is up and down, and then you always want to, me personally, I was thinking about the end in mind.
Yeah.
I can go out there and hustle for my clients, or I can think smarter about it and create more of an evergreen brand and business. So I started to take a step back from the hustle and the work and the, grinding on Instagram, looking up hashtags, DMing and stuff like that, which I still do, but now it's just a less percentage so I can build a foundation, a brand, a company, something that can run long term.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird because to hear you say that, because with new startups and entrepreneurs these days, that's all they focus on. They're looking at the hashtags. They're trying to build the brand on social, on Instagram and all that, which you've done extremely well, by the way.
Appreciate it.
But what gave you the sense of saying, let me take a step back and focus less on that and more on, like you said, building the brand outside of social?
Right. Well, I read a lot. Probably. Well, you know what? Scratch that. I don't read. I listen.
Listen, yeah,
I listen to a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, audiobooks. I was going through audiobooks, man. I can't even imagine. It was probably 1-2 a week.
Wow.
You know, it's just headphones in all day, just consuming all this information of how I should run a business, how I should start a company, and then kind of, attaching that to a fitness perspective. So, all the books were talking about, some books were talking about hustle, but other books were talking about, you always want to start a company with the end in mind.
Yeah.
How would you, lifestyle design, basically. So if you could do this for the rest of your days, would you want to be on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, eating what you kill, or would you rather have, somebody else killing it than bringing it to you?
Yeah. And that's a really good point, because who knows if those social media platforms are even going to be here, 20 years from now.
Exactly.
Who knows what it's going to be. But let's take a step back. I mean, if I'm honest, everything you've said so far, it sounds like you just have this born with knowledge of entrepreneurship. Like, you are very methodical about leaving your full-time job, and you said, I'm going to do what I know I'm going to be doing when I am full-time, but I'm going to start that now. I'm going to start that months ahead of time. And I know that your parents were entrepreneurs in the natural herb business, right? How much did they play a role into kind of giving you this knowledge?
Huge, man. I mean, my dad migrated from Belize to the States. So, whenever I asked him, he's deceased now, but whenever I asked him about, his situation and how he came to the States, he was like, I was 12 years old when I first came here, and I just hopped on bus to bus.
Yeah.
Didn't have nothing in my pockets, but I knew if I got here, I can, make a way for him. So, I mean, he died a millionaire. That's pretty cool. You know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my mom and dad, they got divorced, so we didn't live that millionaire lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I saw how hard he worked.
Yeah.
And when my mom and dad split, my mom owned a health food herb store called Herbs and Spices. I saw how hard she worked in raising 3 boys, being a single parent.
Yeah.
That definitely takes a good bit of work ethic. So combining the two, attached with, just envisioning how I would love to live my life, just always a buildup.
Yeah.
So
why do you think that immigrants just have this drive and this hustle? I mean, like Gary Vaynerchuk.
Of course.
His dad, he's an immigrant. He immigrated here, and it seems to be kind of a hot topic in entrepreneurship right now.
Right.
Is if you're an immigrant, you have this just drive to succeed and determination against all adversity. Why is that?
That's a really good question, but if I can sum it up, it's because, think about it. Let's take a step back right now. I mean, if my dad came over to the States with nothing, how is he going to survive?
Yeah.
It's the mentality when your back's against the wall, what are you going to do? Are you going to sink or are you going to swim?
Yeah.
If you can't swim, you better fucking learn real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's just kind of what the kind of mindset I took when I first got into going full time. I'm like, okay, it's either sink or swim. I'm just going to do it. Just going to hop in. And, I'm doggy paddling right now. So until I get my full strokes in, until I'm really just thriving. But, I mean, any situation where your back's against the wall, if you got a baby due, you don't have any money, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
make it happen or
hustle.
not. Yeah.
Hustle.
Exactly.
That's it.
And it sounds like you got to that point while you were in your full-time job of just feeling like, all right, I need to get out of here. I don't want to do this. and you, whether it's subconsciously putting your own back against the wall, I feel like I do that a lot. Like if I'm not at odds with something, then I kind of just level out, kind of plateau.
Yeah.
But if I feel like I'm down, if I feel like I'm being held back, whether it's me doing it myself, then I know that I can drive forward and be more successful.
Yeah.
So, this whole show started with the idea of that person who's working 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever, and they're building their side hustle and their side company from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Like they were trying to make that part-time side hustle their full-time dream.
Absolutely.
And the reason I asked you to be on the show is because I felt like you are the perfect image of that. Like you are working your full-time job while posting blogs on Instagram, training, getting clients, like
spinning the wheels.
Yeah, spinning the wheels. So how did you manage the time, or even say you're one day at your 9 to 5 and that day just sucked? You just, your boss got on, whatever happened, but that day sucked. How did you go home and still stay focused and not get tired, not get worn out, and focus on building Reuben Brooks Fitness?
That's a really great question, but it's the why behind it. First and foremost, it's the why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And once again, it kind of leads me back to that lifestyle design. This is what I really want. And I've seen so many other people do it.
Yeah.
And it's so inspiring to see them doing it. And I'm like, there's nothing that's different from them to myself, from me to them. So I'm like, okay, I can do it. I know I can. But, at the end of the day, when I had a rough day at work, girlfriends, my sweet loving girlfriend is, getting on to me too.
Yeah.
Because there's a dish in the dishes or whatever. I don't know. You know how girls are.
Yeah.
I'll go into the office, and I'll see my whiteboard. And I look at my whiteboard, and it's everything I got laid out for my business. So I just take a deep breath, look at the whiteboard, get to work. It's actually a relaxing feeling when I'm working.
So you're writing everything down.
Yeah.
I mean, goals, plans, just everything.
Multiple times throughout the week. I would say almost every day I write goals down.
Yeah,
Not to-do lists, but actual goals.
You just posted on Instagram that you wrote down your dream potential significant other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I read that literally right before you got here.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, it's, I feel like a lot of people would look like that, be like, that's odd. You wrote down exactly what you wanted in a woman. Come to find out, your girlfriend did the same thing.
Same exact thing.
And
absolutely.
Now
we're together.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Well, let's get a little more practical.
Okay.
Because let's be honest, you got the abs, you got the muscles. There's several girls on Instagram that have the body, they have the butt, and it just seems so easy to have the physique, not taken away from the work, not taken away from the dieting and the sweat in the gym, but if you have the physique and the body, it's easy to get several thousand, if not several 100,000 followers on Instagram. What would you say about that?
I think you just said it.
Yeah.
You know what? Not to take anything away from anybody else too, but it is kind of easy, quote unquote, once you have it.
Yeah.
But to get there is totally hard.
Yeah.
It's totally opposite, I'm sure it's really easy for you to talk to me about every type of way that I can color grade in Final Cut Pro, right? Yeah. But when I talk to you about carb cycling and keto and intermittent fasting and how you should program your custom meal plan.
But are people paying attention to that on Instagram, or are they just looking at the picture?
Some people are. The people who are serious will pay attention, I, for one, when going back to that example, I didn't know anything about Final Cut Pro, but I wanted to learn because I need to learn how to do YouTube videos. I need to learn how to, edit, do whatever I had to do. So I learned. I did the course. I follow people on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's how it's the same thing. If somebody's really trying to get in the best shape of their life, that's inspiration to them.
Yeah.
Seeing girls seeing a nice body, seeing a nice butt, seeing a flat stomach, men seeing big arms, whatever, that's their inspiration. So some people will look at it and say, wow, he looks great. And then keep scrolling. Yeah. And then some people will look at it and stop and actually read the content and learn from that. Yeah. And those are the people that you want to build your tribe with, and how I started to build my tribe with.
That's a good point, because like I said, you could have the nice butt or the nice body, and that's eye candy, so people are going to follow and click because they
Boom.
want to
Yep,
see more of
clickbait.
that. So if those likes and those followers don't converge, like what does that look like in your world? You can have a ton of people, thousands of people following because they think you look great.
Right.
But how are you ensuring that those followers and those likes pay off in the end, or that they buy your products?
Right. Well, it's really about the context that you provide too, because like we just mentioned, someone can have a nice ass, right,
Yeah.
and a flat stomach, but that's clickbait. What are they posting under the photo? The people who are wanting to learn will hit the button, see more.
Yeah.
Right. And if there's nothing, if you're taking an ass shot and you're talking about, oh, my day's going great, or, what's some crazy stuff, or just a smile emoji,
Yeah.
nothing, basically,
Yeah.
clickbait. It's not going to do anything for you,
Yeah. There's no money in that.
There's no money in that. So at the end of the day, it really does become a sales game, a numbers game. And, it's really the 20%, really less than that,
Yeah.
who are going to convert. You get those 20% into your funnel, and then those out of that 20% will actually purchase something.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, you're hustling in that world too, because like I noticed on your website you got blogs. You're posting blogs. And blogs are forgotten.
Yeah.
But you're writing and typing
Right.
several paragraph, blogs, and providing content and
Absolutely.
value, and even just free information of what to eat for breakfast if you're sensitive to carbs.
Right.
And you're posting these blogs, which is probably the most difficult thing to do in today's business world, is blogs, because it gets overlooked.
Right.
But you're even going to that extent. You're constantly providing free training, programs. How do you delegate time to say, all right, I'm going to post this blog, or is it just like, this is what I feel like doing, so I'm going to write it down? Or do you, even when you don't feel like doing it, do you have a delegated time slot of doing so?
yes and yes. So when I first got started with time management, because that's what it is, I had a very hard time with that. I mean, it was extremely hard. And, networking and talking with other entrepreneurs, you're like, why don't you go ahead and create a content calendar?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's a content calendar?
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and, I saw on Google, this day you need to post this. This day you should, write a blog day. This day you should talk about recipes. This day you should post a meme video. And that wasn't that wasn't what was out there. That was just kind of my content calendar, as far as to, okay, this is how I should set up my work week, and if it made sense, I would do it. Once I got further into my progression, I actually hired somebody. I still write my own content, but I have help with managing of when it goes out.
Okay.
So
How did you know when to do that? Was it a certain financial gain number?
It was no, it was actually through books.
Okay.
It was like I think it was Chalene Johnson. Is a huge entrepreneur in the fitness industry. She said you should never wait to have an assistant. If you have the means to do it, do it.
Nice.
And it's helped me so much, because I can now create stuff, and then she can put it into context for me.
Yeah.
So for instance, if I make a YouTube video, she can transcribe that.
Yeah.
Right? I can look over it, read it, make sure they're my words, and then she'll upload it. I did it. She just put it on paper, and boom, so two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's go through a day in the life of Reuben Brooks. 'Cause I mean, I'm sure you do that all the time when it comes to like what you eat, when you work out, when you train.
Okay.
But the entrepreneur, Reuben Brooks.
All right.
What time do you wake up? When do you post? Does your training affect that? Just a day in the
So
life.
there's two different types of entrepreneur Reuben Brooks. There's Reuben Brooks in contest prep, and there's Reuben Brooks outside contest prep. But in contest prep, typical day starts around 5:30, 6, the standard entrepreneur day. And, start off with cardio, come back, make some breakfast, then stay on the computer for about 10, 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
it,
then
huh?
train.
Yeah, then train.
Then
Wow.
train and do cardio and then go
Yeah.
sleep, or actually spend at least some time with my sweetheart.
Yeah.
And then go to sleep and do it all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're on your computer like most of the day. I'm
Yeah.
sure listening to audiobooks, reading, on social media,
Yeah.
perfecting your website, reaching out to clients. But how much of that is spent on interacting with your potential clients or recent clients?
Right. I have a dedicated time actually to do that. So in the morning time is my creative period where, that's where my brain is the freshest.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the creative stuff, the stuff that's going to take my business to that next level, just move the bar a little bit each day. And then after that is time where I can do kind of mindless stuff,
Yeah.
the fun stuff,
Yeah.
like scroll through Instagram, target some people, go ahead and comment back. So,
And I mean, you're really commenting back. I mean, you get close to 1,000, if not more, likes per picture, and probably several hundred comments. And you're not just saying, "Hey, thanks for commenting." You're giving tips in those comments,
Right.
Taking your time to answer questions.
Right.
Like, why do you put a focus on that?
It's important, man. If someone takes the time out to ask you a question, the least you can do is just respond.
Yeah.
I just kind of look at it. It's so, at the end of the day, it's a business too. So if I see somebody that's asking a question, that means, hey, Reuben, help me.
Yeah.
Help me. So I'm going to help them, and potentially that person that commented can turn to a paid client. So, I always want to make sure that I'm commenting, and
Staying
I'll even go
engaged.
to liking back on other people's pages too. So, it's traffic.
So you mentioned targeting certain people. Are you talking about paid ads on Instagram
No.
and Facebook? Or
I actually, it's funny. I wrote my first ad today on, not today, but last week on Facebook. And it just started. Before that, it was just through hashtags. So, going back to the notorious Gary Vee, he on one video, he put, go on Instagram, look up hashtags, and then start sending DMs to those people. So, I was like, wow, that's really cool. The example that he gave was a guy that does internet, building websites. So he was like, go to these people that have these local businesses, go to them and say, hey, your website's good, but I think I can take it to the next level or something like that. So I took that same mindset for fitness, and what I did was I went to the hashtags and I looked up weight loss journey or healthy eating challenge or something like that.
Yeah.
And just spent time like really scrolling, liking people's pictures, commenting on their photos, giving them some advice, a little bit of advice,
Yeah. But you're giving. That's
but
the
I'm
main
giving,
word.
yeah, I'm giving.
You're not saying, hey, check this out.
Right,
And even if they do check you out, you have free stuff
Exactly.
available.
So, and then, somebody's like, ask a question on their page, I'll definitely go in detail for that person. And then after that, always follow up with a DM. Say, hey, how's your fitness journey going?
Yeah.
Just leave it open and let them
Start a
lead.
conversation.
Exactly. Just start a conversation. But one thing I got from sales is, no one likes a pushy person. You know? So, making it friendly and open, hopefully will convert.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And even if you are in sales and you get rejected, I think how
Keep
you
on going.
deal with the rejection is more important than almost getting the sale. In a way.
Absolutely,
'Cause you're going to
man.
get rejected way more than you get the sell.
Yeah. That's sales. Out of every 10 people, one person is going to buy. So you can hear no 9 times.
Yeah.
And get discouraged.
And those are good odds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are great odds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then on the internet, it's even worse because you're dealing with a ton of people. You can scroll all day.
Yeah.
So that's just, one thing I've always learned is to never take anything personal. You can't.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned contest prep, and I know you've seen several contests you've been in a lot. I mean, you're always traveling to different contests, different shows.
Yeah.
Just speak a little bit about your accolades there. How many have you won? Because you're a sponsored athlete.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that doesn't come easy.
Doesn't
You have
at
to
all.
earn it.
I won, I want to say about three or four shows now. I've done many.
Yeah.
You know, so I've done 11.
Wow.
11 shows, three or four of them. That doesn't come easy, you know. And the ones I did win, I'm very proud of those wins. And that did lead me to a sponsorship with bodybuilding.com and also with USN.
Awesome.
So Ultimate Sports Nutrition. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So from those sponsorships, what does that look like as far as playing into your income and
Financially?
Yeah.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Okay.
So a lot of people may think that, you know, oh, you're sponsored. Financially, you must be doing great. As far as sponsorships goes, there's tiers to it, you know, because I'm still new into this.
And you say new, I mean, you got over 50,000 followers on Instagram.
I do.
You've won 4 or 5 competitions.
I do, right.
New is not, to me, a strong word. It feels like you've earned the rank.
I earned it. However, there's still levels to it,
Yeah.
you know? You know, the level of shows that you win versus, you know, the tier of shows that you win. So the guys that are at the top tiers, they're making anywhere between 10 to 15,000 per month just from sponsorships, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really in the middle tier now,
Yeah.
you know, just climbing my way up there. But just getting into it, nothing. It's more supplements. You get free supplements, right?
Yeah.
They pay for your travels, your hotel,
Okay.
and costs for competing.
Yeah.
So you can continue to be in the limelight, continue to, you know, put the work in and do what you got to do.
So I guess very similar to entrepreneurship because, you know, there's levels of entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Levels, growth, whatever you want to call
Right.
it. I know there's some entrepreneurs that would say, you know, well, I feel like I've worked hard enough to earn this or I've earned that. As with your sponsorships, if I'm in your shoes, or I assume several other people, they would say, I've won shows, I have a huge following on social, and I'm still not getting paid? What the hell? Like, how do you stay optimistic in that and not get discouraged in knowing that it's not really paying off yet?
Well, for me, it's not about... It's always about the money.
Yeah.
Let's get that clear. You know, it's always about the money, but I'm also looking at it as the exposure that I get too. So, you know, I could be, you know, a little arrogant and say, man, I already got this many wins. I have X amount of followers. I look phenomenal.
Yeah.
Pay me. You know, they'll look at you like, so does everybody else out there, you know? So there's a lot of people that already have that same thing. You know, you just definitely have to be a little bit different, you know, and you have to earn your quote unquote stripes as well. So, you know, for me, if I'm on a sponsorship where, you know, the team like bodybuilding.com is a renowned brand that's been around forever, you know, and if you're into health and fitness, you know about bodybuilding.com. So, for me to just be on their team, it's like, wow, this is actually a dream come true.
Yeah.
You know, same with USN, you know, it's a dream come true. Like, I get to travel with people that I dreamed about traveling with, or that I could only imagine, like meeting Steve Cook, you know, and, you know, Simeon Panda. And, you know, it's cool. Now I'm at the expos with, like, the people that are actually on the website.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then you scroll down and you see myself on the website.
Yeah.
So it's like really cool. And then that traffic comes back to me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, they have over 1 million something followers. So, you know, that traffic does come back to me whenever I get posted. So, you know, financially, that can eventually turn into something.
Yeah.
So.
And when that does happen, when those followers do come to you, you want to make sure you're prepared with the blogs, with the video content, with the training program. Because like you said, you have to be different. And even in fitness, you can't do the same routine for 10 years.
You can't.
So people are constantly going to be looking for new people to train with or a new training program. And with the post, with the sponsorships, with the followers, everything you've achieved and done, that comes, and with contest prep, that comes with a ton of discipline. You have to be disciplined.
Right.
So how does that discipline in your fitness world carry over to your business and entrepreneur world?
It just does. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It just happens, man. It's just, you don't get out of routine.
Let me ask you this. How much does, not necessarily for you, but just in your opinion in general, how much does being healthy and fit and in the gym and eating right mean? How much does that mean to being a successful entrepreneur? I think personally they can go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
So what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, definitely goes hand in hand. If you look at the top producers with wealth, I mean, all of them have a piece of health and fitness in their daily routine.
Yeah.
We talked about Gary Vee earlier. He hired a personal trainer assistant.
Full time.
Full time.
Yeah.
That whenever he's in meetings or whatever, he'll come and bring him an apple.
Yeah.
Or a protein shake, whatever. Watch one of the videos, you'll see that. Somebody like Grant Cardone has personal training every morning. Shalene Johnson's a fitness entrepreneur. Obviously, she does fitness all the time. It's Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Does CrossFit. Did and does.
Yeah.
So,
even these guys that don't look phenomenal, like you said, Rick Ross is
yeah.
the most stunning guy, but he understands the importance. And if you're not healthy, then you're going to lose focus, get tired throughout the day. And
absolutely.
I mean, that's a personal struggle of mine, honestly, is I'll go through spells where I'm eating right, I'm training right, and all that. And then it's like, I just lose the time. I'm working too much.
And that's actually the number one excuse for why people aren't successful with going through with their goals. It's the time barrier. So, going back to your time and your reasons why you're doing it, you have to reflect on yourself and say, damn, I really need to get this done. Time is definitely a factor, the number one factor for most people. So you kind of just have to work around that barrier, because all it is a objection. It's a hurdle, so go over it, go under it, go around it, just get fucking through it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I think this has been really helpful for everyone that's listening. I mean, we're literally saying get your health and fitness in check, and when you do that, your business naturally will become more successul, because
basically
you're writing goals down, you're training properly. Just everything seems to align a little better.
Absolutely.
So
let me stop right there.
Yeah.
Just going back to taking care of you first. You're also doing your significant other, a huge benefit by doing that. I take care of myself for Natalie, and she takes care of herself for me.
Yeah.
So we're not, at the end of the day, we just come together.
You're not worried about...
I'm not worried about anything, and in the morning times when I start my day off with the cardio, and I start my day off with listening to something positive, like these audiobooks, that really sets the tone for the whole day.
Yeah.
And if I can control anything throughout my entire day, it's the end caps. What I can do in the morning time and what I can do at nighttime. So in the morning time, I know that I can do some type of cardio and listen to some type of audiobook. At nighttime, I know that I can reflect over my day and also write down my goals for the next day and express some type of gratitude. So, if you can do that, then it doesn't matter what's going on through
You talked about gratitude. Why is that important?
Man, gratitude is extremely important. It's for the mere fact that, if you're having a bad day, just a simple fact of giving thanks, saying those words out loud. What are you grateful for? And it's kind of a thing that most people really don't do, When's the last time you asked yourself what I'm really grateful for? And to do that on a daily basis, it's like, well, now I have to think of new things.
Yeah.
And then you think, wow, I'm really grateful for a lot of things,
Totally.
It's like, man, I'm grateful for the conversations that I had today. I'm grateful for coming and meeting an old-time friend that I haven't seen in years, It's just the little things. And that actually, scientifically, I don't know the super deep details in this, but it helps with your sleep. It helps with relaxing you before you go to sleep, and it also helps with preparing yourself for the following day.
Yeah. And even being grateful for stress.
Right.
And let me open that a little bit, because I know in my part-time job before I started this, I mean, I was so stressed, like seriously very depressed, and like I did not want to get out of bed, almost that depressed, for a lot of reasons. I was stuck there for health insurance reasons, being a diabetic, and a lot of people told me that, well, when you go full time into your own business, what if you're not getting paid, you don't have a salary. And I was like, I want that. That to me, that's healthy stress. So even showing gratitude and being thankful for, I'm glad that I have the stress of knowing that I'm gonna eat what I kill. Everything's in my control to an extent.
Right,
You know,
right.
I can choose to get up and make sales calls, send emails, perfect a video a little more,
right.
or I can choose to just be mundane, go through life, and have those type of typical stresses that a lot of people have. So all that to say, I think there's different levels of stress. There's good stress and then there's bad stress.
Right.
And a lot of entrepreneurs who are trying to decide whether to start their business or not, I would just want to say to know that stress in entrepreneurship can be healthy and can be the driving factor to get you out on your own full time to actually make you successful, because the stress of being an entrepreneur, in my eyes, is way better than stress of just feeling stuck in a 9-to-5 and in your full-time job.
Also, you want new problems. New problems are a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, I can't take on any new clients. That's a good thing. That's because I'm maxed out.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, you can't take on any new projects for filming because you have so many clients.
Yeah.
That's a great problem to have, you know? So, you know, you always want to create new stress or new problems because it's a good thing.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
Well, man, this has been great. I just want to give people a way to find you, so let's tag it up.
Oh, yeah. Follow me on Instagram, approved by Brooks, and you can also reach me on my website, ReubenBrooksFitness.com. That's REUBEN, brooksfitness.com.
And you just got a new training course, right?
I did, yeah, absolutely. So right now I have a free training course. So it's for anybody who's really wanting to take their physique to the next level. If you're stuck at your goals, if you've never had, you know, abs before, if you want to learn more about nutrition, this course is definitely for you. It's free, 100% free. All you have to do is go to my website and sign up for it and take your results to the next level.
That's awesome. You can't get any better for free. So if you want to have info on that course sent to you, you can hit up Reuben or hit us up at contact@theLateNightStartup.com. Use that same email if you know anyone else who would be great to be featured on the show, or if you have any questions about entrepreneurship. Once again, thanks for watching and listening.